Should be all good to go.
Oh my god, I was joking.
It's glitching my shit out so bad.
Oh,
it sure is.
It's so fucking funny.
love it.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
be a one-person hype train.
God damn. Putting us up in there.
10 subs.
Wow. Okay. That's a hell of a way to start things off.
Wow.
Yeah.
The cost of one tank of gas. Oh.
In 2004.
2004. Oh.
Oh, 2004. Oh, jeez.
That was
The
funny.
last year, I think I did a total of like 2,000 miles of driving, and this year I'm already at like 500 miles.
Wow.
Because now I gotta drive another kid to school.
We'll do it.
Well, that was a cosmic little sound. Is everybody able to hear or see the screen that I shared? Just so you guys can get the muzak too.
Yeah.
I can't hear music coming from your stream.
Not stream.
No, I mean, sorry, from your shared screen is what I mean.
Oh yeah, I hear the music on Twitch.
Why can't you?
I can hear myself on Twitch. That's the most important part.
Yeah, you're very clear. But whatever you did last week, it's not coming through this time.
That's alright. Succulent.
Succulent.
It's not that I want to share. I want to do something
Dulcet.
specifically. Here we go.
The dulcet
You like-
tones.
I'm making sure to
Try
channel a teenager's voice, though. That's the important part, to properly play Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's getting the Mario. Yeah, well, you should be, because we're sort of in the lobby, so to speak.
Yeah, we're in commercial time.
Little hinky with this still
My
yet.
mic is glitching in and out.
It doesn't have any effect on me, really.
Well, I don't want to cause anybody to have a seizure because of glitchy microphone.
That happened.
But you sound really good though.
Yeah, you sound fantastic. I know I'm blurry because I leaned over to grab a rag.
Wait, so you're blurry, so you take off your glasses? That's not how it works.
I was literally blurry because I was reaching for this to clean my glasses.
It's like, oh, now you're back in focus.
Right? All right. God damn. Well.
Woo! Raid Shadow Legends, do it.
Oh, that's a pretty fun game. I'm playing it lately. I got turned onto it by our friendly streamer here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still playing it, actually. I made level 25 not too long ago.
I should actually check to see if it is currently running right now, because I still do like 80 dungeons in a row before dinner.
Yeah.
You know what, Raid? A great... It is fun. It is what it is. It is
Nice.
fun. I'm glad. But I practiced yesterday. I think I scaled... I think I showed you. I scaled the screen down to like...
A pixel.
size. It's like a row of pixels, the width of the bar that it needs to keep the window open. That was very impressive. So hats off to
Yeah, I don't know what they've done technologically speaking.
Plarium.
Yeah, Plarium, whatever it is, but they've done something technologically speaking that is just ridiculous. Oh, hey, got a new face in here.
Oh, blue gray.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He's giving us,
can I mod
opportunity.
powers on this? I have
I
mod
want to
powers.
offer a promotion of your channel. Viewers, followers, views,
Go,
chatbots, the
Chai.
price lower than any competitor. No thanks.
How do I do this?
I'll do the hard work myself.
I think you click the name.
Bam! Blocked. Oh, that felt good. Oh wait,
gotta
Uh-oh,
be
he's getting
careful
some
with that.
power.
You will feel powerful.
Bam.
I gotta get some drink. I'll be back.
All right.
Gift a sub. That would be funny.
Boop, boop,
Do,
boop,
do,
boop,
do,
doo, doo,
do,
doo.
do.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do.
What everybody been doing anyway?
I've been playing Raid
I've
Shadow
been
Legends.
playing Raid.
Apparently, I've hit masterclass in self-plugging, all by accident.
Not by accident. You put work into this. Don't diminish yourself, man.
Just gotta get my dice
How do I
out.
ban someone?
I don't know. You're the mod. Figure it out.
Ban. Oh, there we go.
Woo! You ban
Ooh,
me and I
scampi.
disappear off stream. Ah!
Hilarious. Permanently ban a user from chat. Ban.
Oh, there's the dice. I found them. Oh, Jesus.
Ban blue gray face.
Serves me right. So that secondary shared screen, did that work for you guys?
Nah,
What?
I still hear nothing.
Is there like a volume thing?
I successfully banned my first person.
Blue gray face? Spam, yeah.
Ban hammer. Yeah, I don't know why. It was working last week, and you're doing the exact same thing you did before.
Yeah. Just
The only difference is that I'm using a VPN right now, so maybe that's being blocked somehow.
maybe that's it.
Turn that off.
Thanks for the bits there, Bill.
He's giving money because he got to do some power.
Yeah.
Hell yes. For every person I ban, I'll donate 100 bits.
Get the bots coming in here.
Right, all of a sudden it's just...
Dude, I was watching this streamer that frequently has 16,000 people watching him,
Oh my gosh.
and he decided to raid a guy who had like 50 people watching.
That makes me sick.
Can you imagine if we were just sitting here and suddenly we went from like 5 viewers to 16,000?
No.
We'd be done. Like whatever we were doing would stop.
I'd just be... Actually, the worst part is that the raid would hit, and then because of the excitement at the rest of it that would occur, welcome back, Bill, there would just be non-stop wall emotes. I would literally choke to death on modes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stream would just die.
Just be like that, just be constant, never-ending. I don't even
Is
need
it one
this.
emote per like person that's being like raided with? Is that how it works?
Huh? No, it just, like, so it does the wall.
Oh, you're muted.
I shouldn't be muted.
D, you just muted yourself.
No.
I just moved my Skype screen at the exact same time that happened, and I was like, oh no, what did I do? My ban powers extended too far. But wow, he can't defend himself. Let's talk about him.
No, it was supposed to be
That's
Yeti on
awesome.
both, but apparently it wasn't. Now it is.
Well, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
Right
we can
there.
hear you. I can't hear the music.
I
unless
know.
I'm playing
There's
with Twitch,
something weird with that. I don't get it. I'm gonna
but
try
it's fine
again.
with me.
No, it
Yeah,
isn't.
we can hear your
you're
dulcet
gonna
tones this
you're,
evening.
you're gonna cry about it. I fucking know this.
The stream can hear music.
Yeah.
There.
the stream,
How about
but
this?
I hear that. I hear
Oh.
it. Oh, did you not put in desktop audio to when you did the share?
Oh, it has a slider for some dumb reason about sharing audio or not.
I mean,
Yeah,
that makes sense
I
though.
can hear
You
it.
wouldn't want you wouldn't want like certain sounds coming through in like a business meeting, right?
Just having a dark side feel moment.
Oh. that
You know,
That is so
the fact that
frustrating.
you're the only one who gets it is definitely one of those things where it's like, damn, I know who's actually on Twitch doing this shit sometimes.
that is rough. Too long didn't read. A guy forgot to turn was on stream and forgot to turn it off to do his
Oh yeah,
cardinal needs.
yeah. He was busy and he was
It was actually
playing
right before the
around.
start of the stream, I think. It was,
Yeah, it was like before or after. It was something like that. But he played it off. I'm actually kind of impressed. He was just like, oh, I didn't even realize I had the camera on. Like, completely ignored it.
Yeah. Anyway, hello everybody.
Oh, you're muted,
Hi.
Bill. Shit. That must have been a good comment, too. Seeing your face.
Still muted. Still muted. It's still red. It's still red.
You gotta flip your mic up and down, maybe.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you are. You're in.
Yeah, no, I forgot how to use Skype, and we used Skype for our HOA meeting, which failed through. And I thought I disconnected, and I turned to my wife, and I looked at her and says, "Every fucking time, it's like this shit. Every fucking time."
Oh no.
And they're like, "Bill?" I'm like, "Yep. Am I wrong?"
Yeah, you just fucking go with it. You're just like,
You
whatever.
Just lean in.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then they're like, "No, we'll see you in 2 weeks. See you then."
I'm so glad I don't have an HOA.
Yeah, same.
Anyway, and speaking of HOAs, we are now going back to the Avalon HOA.
Right?
God.
Where we
Yeah.
just fought a bunch of shadow demon things.
Oh no, we're trying to escape the Avalon HOA because he doesn't want to report what we just did.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
We got
maybe
caught
we
in a
should open
bubble.
up my character
and
sheet.
Yeah.
We were able to escape with the help of Scott and his new navigation ability.
Yes.
Oh, I don't like
Not
the
real.
change in tone there.
Always special.
Or just got real.
Mm-mm.
I felt my sphincter tighten a little bit.
Well, there's yeah. Well, there's kind of, so you guys were just escaping, got back out onto the street, and Salazar was like, "We need to leave now," and was headed back to his limo.
Yeah. You were killing it with Salazar's accent. It put me very much in the mood.
I had an accent with Salazar.
Yeah, he was like British, like aggressively British. He's like, well, chop chop, Perio, let's go over here.
Biscuits.
I didn't.
I think we're done. Yes, yes.
I put the video of that succulent Chinese meal guy, even though that guy's Australian, because that's what it felt like. It's
Uncle
like,
Roger.
Oh, I see we're getting in a fight. Oh, excellent judo. Very nice grab on that.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I used my planar intuition. That's what I did.
Yeah, you found like a seam or a crack inside of the what you refer
Oh.
to as a Neverland.
Which was cool.
Yeah, you were trapped on an in-between where the physical and the Umberlands are like kind of close.
Oh yeah, Umberlands. Such a cool name. I gotta get that into the book.
Yeah, they have umbral realms, but they refer to it as that. But this is an Umberland that where they come from. And I actually have these creatures. I was working on this. You'll probably be excited to see this, Scott, because
I'm excited on all those things.
well, yeah, I'm sure that you are. Let me see here. I think it's finished. Yes, it's finished as much as it's going to be. But if you pop over to Synergy System as a minor distraction, if you go to the Synergy System and underneath the Synergy System tab, there's going to be something under there that's going to be new on the right-hand side that says High Threat Codex. And there's something there called Gnashers. And this is how I'm going to be running stat blocks for monsters and so on. I'm working the scaling out. I'm calling them threat levels because I want to be able to, like, say, I want to boost their power up. This is what their threat levels give them in terms of, like, the overall bonuses.
I just had an idea about that.
I
Go
love
ahead,
all
Scott.
those words, high threat and codex. What's going on?
Thanks for the bits.
We get to hear the desktop audio.
Bits.
Oh, I never get to hear that.
Yeah, so we'll get to hear it live too.
Shady's
I just had an idea. You know how we have the threat detector, or there's certain
Danger sense?
danger sense. Yeah, maybe that can actually be directly related to the threat levels too. Like certain threat levels you can detect easier, kind of thing.
Red
Right.
level.
Well,
it's an
the
idea.
way that you could, yeah, I mean that wouldn't hurt anything because like if you have a threat
It's
level,
like the synergy.
yeah, well that's the system, right? Threat level midnight. But those Gnashers are like if you go to the Gnashers one, that's what you guys encountered on the inside there, and there's notations as to what they were and what they are.
Dude. Can't do
Tickling
this
his
to me
codex.
while I'm on
can't-
stream. You guys gotta see the juicy stat blocks. I like it.
Well, it's going to be super nice, and I think I covered all of the various realms of necessity inside of these, and you can just run basics. Like, it's there's enough there to let you run, and not so much that it overwhelms.
Very much. Yes. Now I want to click on these other things, but I'm not going to because
You're like, oh no, must honor the
spoilers.
So we
Child of Night.
stopped our stream last week right after we broke out, basically.
Yes, and like I said,
And
Salazar was
we were like,
hoping to
"Let's
get to the limo.
hell out."
Yeah, he was hoping to get to the jumper before you guys, were like caught by anything or had anything else happen.
So we have just again I like to do these kinds of recaps for viewers and for the stream. Who do we have with us currently?
I don't know. I don't suspect it necessarily really. Are you talking about like who's with
Barnaby?
Like, the entire troop is with you right now except for Vix.
Okay, no one got left behind. Okay.
Yeah.
Barnaby. We got Bill.
Shady, he was referring to the team in game, but I'm glad you're here. Roll call.
Oh yeah. Shibuya. Man, I missed the Twitch app. Like, going through my browser.
Twitch app?
Yeah, I used to have the on Mac. You had the Twitch app, so it was easy for me. I could like
because you just click the
tab between them.
Don't you have you could install Twitch as an app with Safari, can't you? I know with Edge, with Microsoft Edge, you can actually go to a website and install it as an app, and it shows up like as that icon, and that's its only thing. So you could have a Twitch app if you wanted.
What?
We'll talk after. I don't want to. We're already deep in our commercials, like 26 minutes in.
Oh, we'll be all right. So yeah, he's just sort of like, this way, everyone, please. This way, come along, like that. And there's like obviously people that are kind of freaked out that you guys just emerged from out of some sort of strange aperture that was there for a moment. It kind of looks like, try to imagine like glass and smoke peeling back, creating that same portal where you've come through, and then when you're like watching the glit and as it like collapses together, it kind of seals back up almost like you would see a window or a mirror and going in reverse after being shattered, and like just pulls together again as you guys are kind of moving back out. Of course, you can hear all the nasty, terrible things on the inside of that, just kind of snarling and moving forward. They start to like kind of run, and you hear the clickety clacks just before that seals completely.
Malcolm just kind of strolls up, and he's not really helping the civilians be calm, because
his black eyes are horrifying.
His eyes are turning from black to normal.
Right.
But
well, and you guys were like, he was being
flicking
heated
his
up.
blade and
He was being heated up, if I recall, because Danny was actually using his warmth spell to help you unlock, and you dropped your sword on the cab floor.
Yeah, we were in the car.
Yeah.
I was thawing you out.
Yeah, but while we were getting there, you were correct.
Yeah, he basically was
You were terrifying.
getting like the black ichor off the blade.
Yeah.
The smoking blade, and he's just like still like holding it, going.
I forgot.
So Danny was using his cool warmth spell for the first time, I think, and didn't light the car on fire, so that was good.
That is good.
I like his 100% unearned confidence that he has. It's just like,
It's
let's
very
go.
much teenager.
Yep. Well, he's invincible until someone shoots at him, and then he's like whimpering and hiding behind Barnaby, so
As you do.
it's fair.
That's super fair, in fact.
All right. Well, the jumper finally takes off, and you're pulling out and away. The fact that it's automated is interesting. There are certain things that can do this. His assistant, whom you have no idea what his name is yet, still, even though he's been there the whole time, he's just kind of like out of breath and just trying to get himself under control. He's like rubbing his like thighs and stuff like that, just trying to get himself back into a range of normal thought, which he's being ignored by the professor at the moment. But whenever there's a bit of a silence as you guys are headed back, everyone's just kind of like trying to put together what that was. And Salazar has got a small slate in front of him, which is one of those clear tablet-like devices, and he's kind of moving through it. He's like, well, this isn't good. I do believe that I've put myself at risk, as it were. I'm going to be investigated rather shortly after this.
Oh, were you on some kind of parole?
Well, it's like, as you're well aware, I'm some form of house arrest, a very resplendent form of house arrest, but...
We didn't go anywhere, though.
No, we didn't break any part of my borderline, but there are other things that I'm responsible for that I may have to explain. Namely, the fact that I'm walking around with one such as he, and it looks over at Bill, nodding his head in that direction.
I mean, we walk around with him.
It's like, yes, but I don't know that you have express laws forbidding forbidding them to be around in the public.
That's racist.
Well, they usually try to eat people. It is a genuinely wise plan not to let them go around. You're still muted, Bill. You have to...
In my defense, I don't eat people.
Yeah, he's
As he's sitting there with like completely obsidian-colored eyes, he's like, right, of course. I couldn't imagine.
I'm a man of
ate
God.
God, and it tasted funny.
It's against my religion.
He's like, which one?
Oh, don't get him started.
He squints his eyes. You're not Calvinist, are you?
I'm afraid I don't even know what that is. Barnaby's just staring out the window, kind of watching. He's like, you mind telling me what the hell it was that we encountered down there and why it escalated so quickly? I mean, that seemed a little weird. Having whatever that was on the other side of the gate, fine. But what the hell happened after that?
Yeah, that was inside your house arrest place. Isn't that not supposed to happen?
Well, inside of
really
his
weird.
territory that he can stay within. You guys were out there in the public space on the street. He can't go like a certain...
Supposed to happen, though.
He's like, well, you see, that's kind of the problem, as it were. We have issues of that nature that occur from time to time, and they often are attracted to strange, incidences of a magical nature. I took it as a foreseeable risk, but not one that was so extraordinarily dangerous that we had to be concerned. I was incorrect.
You sure were. That was something else.
I mean, it's like Barnaby's just staring at him. It's like, I'm starting to understand more and more why it is that you're on house arrest. We should probably get ourselves back, as it feels to me like this trip is kind of going nowhere and we don't really have any idea how to use the sands better than we did before. And Brenner is just kind of like holding his hands like, calm your temper. Calm. Looks as like, all right. Let's put it under these particular terms then. You've already made it clear that you don't necessarily want to put anybody into harm's way. You've made that both clear and confusingly inaccurate with how you can behave, but it doesn't seem to be intentional, if I'm being honest. So how about this? If we had a certain mystical artifact capable of removing the memories of individuals that were potentially dangerous to us and others, how would you might recommend, since you seem to be skilled in the arcane, how to employ it so that we know how it's contained? Is there something that we can do to make it more measurably safe so that it's not in the wrong hands or misused? The man sits back. You can see his robes kind of ruffling a little bit as he takes in a deep breath and lets it out in a sort of burst. He's like, I suppose I could probably come up with something. Well, if you gave me the rough concept of its function, I might be able to help influence this. I mean, you did, after all, help me accomplish a goal that I've been trying to do for some time, and I'll never be able to forget what was said, and I'll actually be able to safely recreate the incident in the future from this point forward. And, Brenner just kind of tilts his head a little bit. Whatever allows you to sleep better at night, I suppose. And he says, well, I actually sleep quite well, thank you.
And at this point, Hugh has his pad out and is like, what is it that you'll never forget? I just want to, it sounds important. So we'll write it down.
Well, he's just like, the incantation that the young lady there, indicating Silva, had mentioned whenever she was trying to open the gate. It's actually a very unique combination of arcane and, etheric construct. It's an algorithm of a sort, I suppose, but a uniquely written one. Very effective, as a matter of fact. It sort of circumvents various problems in its logic.
Yep, we gave him the key.
Brenner, we were here for you too, right? Like, to help you with something?
He's like, yes.
It's his daughter.
And it's like, we were here to find out exactly a little bit more, and he's not wrong. It is a strange algorithmic formulation, but... And he just kind of like shakes his head. He's like, what a strange way of... You've taken something quite magical and mystical and turned it into something else. He like just looks at the guy and...
Technocracy.
Well, it's just sort of like, turned it in. I haven't done anything with it, my man. I'm just working with what is. The laws of the arcane are pretty clear once you actually start to understand them with any sense of gravity. He just shakes his head. He's like, well, I can definitely say that I'm glad that I don't have to see this kind of outcome occur anywhere where I'm at now. It's a shame. You're missing the life that you're actually playing with. It's not just numbers.
So I have two questions. The first being, to go back, can we go back from anywhere, or do we have to go back from your weird room? And the second is, can we go around here, or are you locked in? Like,
I'm the one that's on house arrest. Clearly. You're free to go about anywhere as you please. However, I doubt that you'll actually have the laurels necessary to be able to, do anything of note. First of all, you don't even have any identification, and, you'd be horribly limited. You're more or less the most well-dressed homeless people I've ever actually managed to bring in here.
What are laurels?
And he's like,
He just whispers that to Malcolm. Like,
right.
What are laurels? Is that like a tree? Okay, what about the first question?
You'll have to take the world shunt back to your homeland. Your own realm, as it were. It's been anchored rather accurately. And you'll probably have to do that somewhat soon, I'm afraid.
World shunt.
Well, that doesn't sound like a real word. World shunt?
Yes, it is
Is the translator not working?
No, I do believe it is working rather well, and I can tell you this for now. It is in fact a real world. It is a shunt between worlds. That's exactly how it functions.
Are we allowed to say shunt? This guy's weird.
It's just... I said shunt, not...
No, with his accent, it sounds like a word we're not supposed to say. Okay, so yeah, we should probably go back, I think.
I would have to agree. I can take a little bit of time and... I can take a little bit of time and make certain that I can help with the short number of endeavors that you seem to have come here with the expectation of completion. I can try and do my best on that front, and then send you back. As I've said, you've managed to help me quite significantly in this whole matter. I have a means of access that was not apparent to me before, and I'll be happy to say that I will be finally free of various prisons, though they are gilded.
The gilded prisons.
There's no way that those things can come into our world, though, right?
Well, I suppose they could probably breach through from the Umbrellands entirely, but they never really seem to want to do that. They always sort of ensnare their prey. We never know what happens to them, except for those who've managed to escape, like myself as being one of the very few who have. Only because of you, of course.
Much obliged.
Whatever that small little snare they erected, whatever that pocket dimension was, it's meant to eat their food with. I suspect that's probably how it goes for anyone who's trapped in one of those places. They just wind up as food for whatever's hungry on the other side. It's quite a problem around here.
Do they come through a lot?
It's not that they come through, it's the fact that they entrap others. And they do it often.
But nobody around us seemed to notice or care.
That's because they couldn't see us, my boy.
We're in a different
But I
dimension.
mean, like if they're out on the streets and this happens on the streets,
Then they would just
would
vanish
people
and nobody would
avoid the
notice.
streets?
They slip. Unfortunately, the minds of many of, especially those down below, they aren't focused on such things, and they have a tendency to miss it quite often. Unless it's a dear friend or a loved one that just suddenly vanishes from out of sight. Who's to really pay much attention? Then the report comes in, and people, of course, have to mourn. And whenever they just vanish, they're gone.
So Hugh puts his hand up. Is like, so you're saying that those creatures are kind of a normal occurrence in this realm?
Well, at least those ones have been documented before, yes. I'm certain there are an infinite number of possible entities that exist within the Umbrellands that try to reach through and have a snack or two.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, that doesn't really happen on Earth as much as far as I am aware.
I mean, maybe it does, and we don't know. People go missing in Night City all the time.
You guys are starting to coast in and come into a landing. It's just sort of like, it's a shame that I won't necessarily be able to have the chance to see it, although I consider the fact that way that all of you appear, at least for now, you might have more difficulty than I do in certain cases, but to each their own, of course.
Of course.
Where are
Okay,
you?
So, Brenna, is your daughter in real Avalon or here?
She's like, neither. She is trapped in the realm of Fae, one of their planes. I'm certain of that. In one of their...
Oh. Isn't that the same thing?
No. Avalon
Do you know
is...
how to get to the Fae realms?
We do, as a matter of fact. It happens to be on one of the missives that was offered to Malcolm some time ago when you were somewhat accidentally transported to the Bloody Plains.
Oh.
Aye, such a delight that was.
You were catching it at the height of its conflict.
To go to the Fae realms? I mean, I know we want to have gone to the Fae realms, but do we want to actually go there?
I have learned a great deal by the fact that this was successful. I think that maybe my desires can be satisfied. Now it's a matter of locating the coordinates necessary to land where I want to land. Then it's a matter of coming back home after the fact.
Oh yeah, we needed an address. Salazar, do you have like a address list?
He's like, pinches his nose. He's like, how would I know any particular planar coordinates that you would exist upon in your realm?
Do you have one for here? Do we know how to get back here if we wanted to?
You already
Well, that's
have
how
the
we got
anchor
here.
established. The world shunt works both directions. You can always return as long as I'm not found out. Which, there's a good chance that I probably will be, and this will probably be the last time we ever speak to one another, so... hard to say.
Okay, so...
Malcolm looks at Barnaby going, see, it's so great when it's not you that's the target, right?
He's like, well, as long as we get the hell out of here, pretty as it is, I don't think I want to be something snack. He like pops the door to the limo open since it's been sitting there for a while and starts walking back towards the manor, this penthouse on the very high-rise building you're on. Still immensely gothic with incredible statues and all of the different marble formulations everywhere. It's such a surreal sight.
I miss Dougie.
Dougie.
Oh, Dougie.
When we all filter back into the penthouse, you of course got in low tone Salazar speaking with his escort, his assistant, and they kind of trade some things off, and then there's not really much time that passes, maybe 10, 15 minutes at most, and then he hands something over to Brenner at the moment. He's like, here, before they arrive, I would suggest that we reactivate the shunt and move ourselves along. That there is what I can offer to you in trade, both the device and its explanations. You have the lens, and you also have the devices around your necks. I suppose that will have to do for now. I will have to bid you farewell, or you'll wind up probably going with me, which I wouldn't recommend.
Work elsewhere? Or are they somehow bound to here?
No, those are self-contained, fully accessible power sources of their own right. They're fully worked devices. Of course, they're going to remain as they are.
Is there something about them I could write down on my sheet?
Oh,
translated neck thing?
Oh, you could probably just say the pendant of all tongues, something like that.
That sounds fancy. That sounds gross.
It's not the pendant. It's not the pendant of all licking tongues. It's just the pendant.
Pendant of all tongues. Grants the wearer the ability to
understand all languages except the arcane languages. That's it. So, whenever you guys were...
What did Salazar give Brenner?
A slate. It's a small little like tablet device. It's basically the size of a mobile phone, but it's constructed out of something that looks like it's completely clear. It's totally transparent, but it has the ability to... It has a user interface on it, very similar to what you guys would expect for any kind of like mobile device, like your smart braces. Same kind of idea. It's just not attached to your arm. Bill became a shadow.
That was weird.
Yeah, Bill became a shadow person.
He went to...
He became a cryptid.
A second. Yeah.
All right, so he's like walking guys back. He's walking guys back to the world shunt, as he calls it, into this room where you can still see that wide, cavernous set of windows, which are still blocked. So there's no sunlight coming through to, perturb our dear friend Malcolm here, who's been basically shunted up inside of his clothes, like hands in pockets, completely shrouded, while outside of anywhere else. And luckily the sun was down low enough whenever you arrived that the angles were just off and you could walk at the bottom of the streets without having to worry about direct sunlight. But it was still uncomfortable as hell. When you step onto the platform once again, he just looks to the lot of you. There's actually a sound of a ringing, like a ringing noise. You're not really sure exactly what it is, almost like a doorbell. He actually turns over his shoulder. He's like, well, that would happen to be for me, so I bid you all very much a farewell, and if we do see each other again, I will be happy to greet you, but if not, best of luck to all of you. And he just goes to the side where, to everyone's right, but to his left, he just kind of touches something. There's a panel that opens up, and he just touches a few things. You actually can feel and see the mystical setup in there, Danny. Like, you can actually perceive the arcane energy going through it, but it's been very much standardized in a way that's almost like electronics. It's almost like circuitry in the way that he's got it composed. Yeah. And he just goes...
He had that weird approach with, like, algorithms and stuff, so...
Yes. Yes, he did.
If Danny had meta knowledge, he would feel this was very technocracy type, but
Almost.
He doesn't, so...
Nope. But he just finally taps the last one. He's like, there we go. Same as before, gentlemen. I bid you adieu. More or less.
Theremin of
Well, in this case, you kind of have this like sinking sensation, and then the shifting,
Oh.
that shifting feeling like things are going all over the place. You don't have, like it's just kind of this like warbling effect, and then it snaps back into place, and you're back inside of that carport with all the familiar smells of like oil, metal, sweat. There's just like a bunch of stuff that you guys, yeah.
So, Danny's gonna check a smart brace to see how much time has, like, if it feels like it was 1-to-1 time and like all of that.
Yeah, you have time sense, you said.
No, he's just gonna look at a smart brace and be like, "Oh, it's June 22nd."
Trying to do some math.
Wait a second, it was June 15th when we left. We were only gone for 1 day. Like,
yeah. Well, in this
so
case,
basic.
there doesn't appear to be any differentiation in time. It looks like you were there for the same amount of time that you've just arrived at, which has only been a few hours or so.
Right? Yeah.
Because there's been discussions, the dinner, and all the rest of that stuff. So it's only been that long. Looks like it's in a direct match. Nothing seems out of the ordinary.
That's good.
Or at least it's been long enough that it matches up.
Yeah, you could be on perfect sync for a 24-hour cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, they walk outside and everyone's Victorian era. Who knows? Okay. Yeah, that was just, Danny's like trying to become more aware of the concept of, space and time.
Yeah.
And how they might be related. And if this really is like we turned the dial and went like one plane over to the left or whatever, then it's hurting his brain a little bit. He's kind of understanding it.
Yeah.
How is Silva with all this? With like,
yeah, she looks a
successfully
little
going back.
right. She's a little worn out, but she's like,
She
kind
really
of.
was thinking about staying, wasn't she?
Well,
was
she
thinking
kind
about
of wanted
staying.
to, yeah, but she's like, but obviously her mind was changed whenever she's like, oh, I can just walk down the street, vanish, and become something's food. I think I want to go back. I at
She
least
and Salazar
understand
could just
the
zip
threats
around the
there.
metaverse.
Right. Seems a little frickin' wacky, even if it was like incredibly low chances. Why would you want to do that? At least she understands the threats that are here.
Right.
So
She could be Salazar's companion, go skipping around the dimensions.
at this point, everyone has now finally returned, and it's just kind of like this feeling of sort of surreal. Now that you guys are back where you are, Brenner hands Barnaby the slate. He's just like, I think you'll understand this better than I. At least whenever you have the lens. And Barnaby just nods, stuffs it into his pocket. And he's like, yeah, probably. At least we're back to where I can make sense of certain things. We'll have to get that. Hey, you still have that lens, Danny?
Yeah, always.
You mind? I want to start taking a look at this.
Sure. So Danny will reach into his pocket and grab the lens and, hand it over to Barnaby. He's reluctant to part with it. He's kind of really enjoyed being able to use it, but he'll...
Well, Barnaby is going to give it
Hand
back
it
to you
over.
for sure. Actually. Can everybody just make a short awareness check? Pretty please.
Uh, 21 for Danny.
Is it? It's a standard awareness check, not a combat one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the music didn't change.
Nope.
Yeah, we're fine.
15.
18.
Yes, he does. 15, 18. Anybody who's got... So 15 and above will catch it. So,
No, that's everyone.
yep. Silva is looking a little odd. When you get up close, she's kind of standing there, and then she's got her eyes kind of rolled back into her mind. Rolled back into her head a bit. It's actually a little unnerving.
Silva?
A little unnerving. Let's see here. Hold on. I gotta see if he's...
Hugh, what's going on with Silva?
She's just like standing back with like... She's got like sort of stiff and just kind of like I said, looking straight up.
Well, he's gonna be doing one of these in front of her head.
She seems to be in trance, is your guess.
One of you adults needs to figure this out. I
I'll
don't
be
know
right
what's going
back.
on.
Time to do like the classic like. Ooh, I shouldn't have done that.
Oh,
I hurt my shoulder just now.
I was just thinking of Bill Burr. Sometimes you just give her a little slop.
I'm not gonna slap Silva. I want my hands.
Well, so
well, I mean, you should.
Good 1930s movie. Get a hold of yourself.
You gotta start shaking her.
Silva,
I mean, I guess I'm gonna do a roll of just first aid.
well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you could definitely use a first aid check to find out if she's like got some kind of allergic reaction or other kind of physiological symptoms
I'm
that
gonna
are
do
a problem.
both a spiritual check and a first aid check. So I've got
Ooh,
my
very nice.
monocle down.
Yes, I want you to
And,
make an occult roll then, along with that. So first aid and occult, please.
A combo roll. Alright, first one is 1d10 plus.
Combo.
Jeez, now the music changed.
It's like a Taco Bell.
I'm gonna do combo number 1.
Just say like a combo rolls, a Jack in the Box egg roll, and a Taco Bell bean burrito.
There you go. Like a double decker taco, but with the egg roll instead.
Yes. Thanks for popping in the order of the stick with that whole bit. That's pretty funny.
That's what I was thinking of with Malcolm and his
That'd be kind of a cool idea to run with, huh?
to block out the sun.
19
Okay, so I got
and
a 23
23.
on first
Wow.
aid and 19 on the occult.
Okay, so physiologically she's fine, but when you're doing the occult inspection using your monocle to be able to kind of view what's happening there, you do notice that there is something else secondary in the mixture. And it's not just her. You actually see a secondary figure of a nondescript nature with his fingertips just on the sides of her forehead, or on the sides of each temple. And it's just standing like this, and it's very large. It's a very imposing figure. And she's just kind of standing there, like I said, she's stuck in trance. You don't know what's happening.
Did Salazar hitch a ride?
Let's see here. So I'm just writing some stuff. Physically fine.
Don't forget, you might be able to use the other lens in coincidence with this, because you guys have got a lot of, like, aware and perceptive type stuff happening. You guys have a lot of gear that let you do that. It's really strange.
Yeah.
Well, so what I'm going to do is what I always do, which is try greeting the creature, or whatever it is. It's like, it seems we have a passenger. Hello, can you understand me? We're so all
I like
wearing
how
our,
nobody else is going to be able to really see what the hell's going on. It's just you talking to her weird.
Right.
Well, no, I said out loud. It seems she brought a
Yeah,
passenger
but
with
to
her.
anyone else, it's going to be like, what? What are you talking about? Because they just see her in trance and nothing else. It's not a comfortable feeling.
Yeah. So I say hello, and like I'm looking at the thing through my monocle.
Whenever you can see, you can't tell if it's Silva that moves her head towards you or if it's the entity that causes her head to shift.
Yeah.
Because it looks like they're moving in sync like this. It just looks over at you, which, by the way, the movement is weird. Because it just, like, locks onto, like, Hugh in a very sort of mechanical way.
All that weird thing where the head turns and then the body turns after. I don't know
Yeah.
why that is so unnerving, but like you see that in a movie and it's something like oh, freaks me out.
Does he do anything else besides just look at me?
At present, there's no, like, attempt at speech, but it's definitely acknowledging you, like, with eye contact. Eye contact.
Right. Yeah. Facial pointing.
Well, yeah.
So he turns to the group. He's like, "Well, it seems we picked up a passenger at some point. It seems to be with our friend Silva here. We need to try communicating with it. 'Cause
You
we
can
don't wanna
hear,
hurt
like, the
Silva."
sounds of metal and leather shift as Barnaby's drawing his sidearm and he's actually standing, like, out of range. He's like, Danny, get by me, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Danny's gonna take his dance with magic fingers or whatever and he's gonna like take a few steps back.
Do one of these.
Yeah.
Well, can he, if Danny should be
Brenner,
able to see it with
can
his
you-
aura sight, right?
Well, he might be able to use his mystical awareness to take a look at it, yes. He can also use the lens to peer at it, also, if Barnaby's smart enough to think of that.
Brenner, do you see anything?
He's like, no. And he's holding the weapon up like this. He's like, oh, shit. He, leaves his sidearm up, and he goes over the top, and he's, like, eyeballing it through the lens.
I was asking Brenner.
Well, Barnaby's the one that has it.
Well, I was just asking Brenner if he's...
Right,
you know,
no. Brenner's just kind of standing back. He's like, I don't know what it is I'm seeing.
Barnaby, can I have the lens?
He's like, the hell is that? And he's like, he hands the lens off. He basically lets you look through the lens, but he's eyeballing it with his sights and the lens at the same time.
As Malcolm just takes out his flask and going, well, just a Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, in this case...
He had to replenish anyway.
Yeah. Because you were what were you at, SFR-wise, when the battle ended?
We were down to 3.
Yeah, one more, and you would have been in serious trouble. You may have broken your oath.
That would have been bad.
Good thing Q's the whole meal, not just a snack. So what does Danny see? Same thing, like Q sees?
Not exactly. You can see some kind of an entity standing there. There's like golden pinpricks where the eyes are supposed to be, and you can see something almost... Imagine something like stone, where it is resplendent and absolutely unchanging, but it's like the skin of a snake when it keeps like peeling off and vaporizing in various forms and all like that. Very much humanoid, male or masculine in its formation, and it's watching everyone in the room, even though Silva's head is trained on Hugh. Ooh.
He's gonna smile.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, I knew that GIF was coming.
Thanks for the follow.
Is that what that sound was?
Yeah, that's Jackerman. Jackerman Lee.
Hey, Jackerman.
Appreciate that. So, yeah, it's basically just standing there in this sort of almost omniscient and threatening type way.
So, would anybody like to tell me what's going on?
And it's just sort of like, Barnaby's like, have a look for yourself. What the hell is that?
Yeah, Danny does not like the snaky sort of thing, and he's trying to think of a way that he could separate them too.
Kind of cocks his head as he looks through. He says, "Hey, Brenner, you might want to do something about that."
He wants to like force push or something, but he doesn't want to hurt Silva.
Right. That's what Hugh's saying. It's like we need to be calm and take a second to see if we can communicate with this being. Just because it looks terrifying doesn't mean it actually is.
Hugh, ever trusting.
And as he looks back into the lens and says,
What's the word I'm looking
not
for?
necessarily your friend either, Hugh.
Ooh, thanks for the cheer.
Can we? So we should try and like talk through the lens. Talk with our pendant. Like Danny's gonna like, do you know? Can you understand us? He's gonna like.
Well, actually, what Hugh's gonna do is reach out very slowly and just touch her shoulder, and see, if touch does anything. Like he's just a very trusting person. He implicitly believes that this creature is just.
He's a hopeless romantic. Didn't you take that as one of your things?
Hugh's just gonna be like, do you need a body?
You are so good at actually enacting those disadvantages. You do so well with
it. And gullible.
Yeah, I'm
all the above.
And gullible.
Yeah, so you're doing exactly that.
Yep.
Just acting on.
So, my instinct says that this thing is, just because something looks scary doesn't mean it could be that this is how they communicate. And this is done well for him up until now because typically normal folk that you interact with are kind and whatever.
In other words, you grew up with Star Trek. too many episodes.
Well, no, he works as a everyman. Like he
That's
does all these
true.
different things for people.
Oop, what's happening there?
And it's worked out for him. Anyway, so yeah, does anything happen when I touch Silva, like physically?
Why is your camera freaking out, Ken? That's so funny.
He's just bouncing around.
He's like, boop, 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 boop. Like, that was really
Oh.
hilarious. Oh, well.
Weird.
Eh. So, you reach out, you touch her shoulder, right? I want you to actually make a will essence check, please.
See?
So
Roll,
here's
roll
something that's
20
interesting.
d10.
20
One of
d10.
my one of my milestones I picked up is unfazed.
Yeah, good. That's right, I remember that.
It's automatically success for the first required sanity check that comes up per encounter. So that's interesting. Anyway, you said a will check?
Yeah, I said a
essence
will
check?
essence check, please.
Okay.
Dude, his camera is flipping
I was
out.
being
This is
distracted.
hilarious.
I'm not doing anything.
It's the same thing that was happening to me last week.
All right.
It's been steady up
let's see
until
if I
now,
can-
but I'm just gonna kind of chuckle at it because it's like,
At least it's not going bigger. I don't mind shrinking inside of my box. Give me
Yeah.
my box. Let's see. My will is what?
Maybe his connection's goofing up because Skype is actually having a hard time keeping up with him too.
Oh really?
Yeah. Weird.
What's my target?
Well, in this case, your target's gonna be 8.
8, explode 10, fail 1.
Oh my god. Just check the.
I'm gonna get rid of.
Ooh.
I need some luck to get rid of that 1.
Yeah.
So I have 1 success.
1 success.
Wouldn't you already have 1 success with the automatic?
I got a.
Oh. Well,
I don't know if
that is a
This is not a
sanity.
sanity check.
It's an automatic sanity save.
Oh, I
So
see.
this
see.
is
Yeah.
will essence. It would be different.
Right. Sorry,
So I've
I
got
misheard
1.
you. I don't know why. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I've got just 1 success.
Okay, so use a little luck to do that. Fine. You get hit with a shudder of. You can't quite describe it, but even your sort of easily delighted and joyous demeanor takes a bit of a blow, because something about this is just feeling abysmally thrashing. Like your spirit is just kind of like. It's like you're set on fire and restrained for maybe about a second and a half. And it just sends you into an absolute panic for half a moment, and you let go of it, and it dissipates, and then you see it like Silva, and her voice is not hers whatsoever, but just all you hear is like, "Help me," like that, and then it fades out. It's very masculine, and it has an accent.
Can we place the accent, or is it just like, does it sound like anything that we recognize? I mean,
Well, sure, it sounds like an accent from around there. Something maybe Scottish, Irish, maybe something like that.
okay, from where we just came from. Got it. Okay.
Huh? No, Scottish or Irish. Where you just came from was New Avalon.
It's from the Bronx.
I thought you said anyway. Okay. All right. So he was shaken. Everyone could see that. I
Yep.
was like, "Ooh, that is gnarly." How can we help?
Well, the entity
Yeah,
has
well, I was
dissipated, and you
asking
can see
that.
Silva just kind of like shudder and come back, and she's just looking around, going like, "Why is every?" Like looks at Barnaby. She's like, Why do you have a gun on me?" And it's like he just shakes his
Well, happy Tuesday.
right.
Are you okay? Do you feel okay? You were kind of in a trance.
She's like, "I don't remember it. What? I was in a trance. What are you talking about?"
When we came through the gate, your eyes rolled back in your head, and you were just chanting like, "Danny's the coolest" or something. It was very confusing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that wasn't what was happening. She looks over.
Or you may have been possessed by a shadow creature that's begging for help.
Wait, what? It was asking you for help?
She's like,
You?
"I don't know."
No,
What?
Hugh. It was asking you for help?
That's what you said.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you guys heard it. Like she said it out loud, didn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, Danny wasn't paying attention.
When does he ever pay attention, really?
What?
Look how tiny I am.
Does everybody want to make awareness checks for me again, please?
Okay.
See, he's learning.
Awareness.
He's not cueing the music yet.
1d10 plus 13.
Oh my god, you're so friggin' tiny, Ken.
22 for Danny's awareness.
17.
Oh wow. Awesome!
18.
Rickerbackin. Nice, thanks for the follow. Why is your camera freaking out, Ken? Why?
Okay,
Here, let me just leave the call for a quick second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. That was so weird. Oh my god, it freaked him out. Oh no!
Alright, I'm back. I know that everything got...
Oh dude, it
Hello,
beefed it so
everybody
hard, but you're
disappeared.
back to normal, so we'll go with that. Fantastic.
A little glitch is okay.
Difficulties.
Hey, Rickerbackin, how's it going?
Man, Rickerbacken and Jackerman, thank you so much for coming to watch us play tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah, the
awesome.
game is Shadows. It's a tabletop RPG of our own creation. It's kind of a mix of cyberpunk and supernatural. And we just jumped back from a pocket dimension and found one of our colleagues was possessed by a shadow creature of some kind. So, and Danny's not trying to gaslight her.
Yeah, well, yeah, he says. But no, Brenner's kind of like, so what do everybody get? We're looking for 16 or better to notice what's happening here.
18.
18?
Yeah, 22
We
for
all
Danny.
I got 17.
Yeah.
So yeah, 16 or better. We're all good.
Yeah, Brenner and Barnaby are just kind of like looking around at the same thing. It's just like, does something feel off to you? And then Brenner's like, damn, I think I know what might be going on. If something like that just happened to Silva, and for Silva, she's like just holding her head and it's kind of looking like she's got like a bit of a migraine starting to build up. And she's just like, I just need to sit down or something. Like, and she kind of sits down there in the area where you guys had all just come out of. Brenner's looking around. It's like, there's a problem. I didn't think about it before, but there's a good chance that using the shunt the way that we just did may have been like setting up a really large flare to all kinds of things.
Oh, like we sent our address out?
Basically. And if there's things hunting us, we're already kind of in trouble.
Can we damage the circle or something so it doesn't work anymore?
And he's like, that would not be difficult, but we have to deal with the current situation as it is. Because you guys are hearing something that's on the outside of this like warehouse area. It sounds like car doors shutting, things like that, awfully close.
Oh. Well, that would be your 2 o'clock. You.
Danny's gonna occult roll.
Go ahead.
Scott has an idea, but Danny has to have the idea, so. Oh my gosh, I almost did a D20. Dang, it's just so natural to type
Hey.
that.
D19.
D19. D19.
D19. That's special.
What's
Not a
Nemesis?
great roll, but a 16 on an occult roll.
What's that?
Danny's just thinking, I got a 16 on my occult roll.
So you're trying to figure out a way to disrupt the shunt so it can't be used?
No, like Danny's thinking, he always hears his mom say like sunlight's the best disinfectant, and he's like, if this is a shadow creature, what if we just like flood the area with sunlight or something?
But what about Malcolm?
Yeah.
Well, that's why
Hi,
he's trying to
what
figure out how
about
to do
Malcolm?
it properly.
He's just
That's why he
radiating.
would just, like, create a small sun. It's not, it's not Ivar. It's not gonna like.
You know.
Oh,
you do
Ivar.
that. I'm gonna go to my room.
Well,
All right.
he's gonna voice it out loud. He's gonna be like, if this is a shadow creature, would we be able to trap it like in shadows, like by making it bright in here?
By the way, like I said, you guys are hearing like car doors and things like that on the outside, which is unusual. Barnaby, while everybody's trying to discuss their next moves here, is going over to where the security system locks and the rest of it is. He starts going like, guys, this is not good. This ain't good. We have to deal with this, and we ain't going anywhere. It looks like they've got back and forward exits covered.
And Malcolm just looks at Barnaby. 6 pence, it's clerics.
And he's just sort of like, yeah, long coats, really pissed off looking guy. We've seen him before. Yeah, them.
Do we want to escape back through? Or do we want to fight?
We can't go back. Hugh intones is like that's
Or
the Popo
Silva,
is over there.
or Silva, we go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's just sort of like, well, unfortunately,
she's
right.
all-
It's like, Brenner's like, well, we only have one option then. We have to get ourselves out of here and disrupt that. I'll take care of the shunt. The rest of you take care of whatever they're going to be doing. And he goes walking back to where you guys have the shunt and the gate, and he starts to do some work.
What type of locks do we have on the doors and stuff here? Are they just like...
They're heavy locks, including a mag lock system. God damn there, Brenner. Jesus, you a little pissed off, buddy?
Alright, Brenner's done. Just Danny's wanting
Malcolm's,
him to like fuse the metal so they can't open it or whatever, but if it's magnet locks, it's probably stronger.
It's magnetic and bolt, so it's one of those things where it's supposed to be almost panic room shut capability.
Yeah.
Which
Malcolm's
has been
gonna go to
activated
his
at this
room
point.
and
Huh?
stock up on blood supplies because he's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is an intercom system, which you guys would have been using for a lot of your deliveries, especially for like food or equipment or anything else that would have been more discretionary, right?
He was going to walk up to that intercom system then, and to speak to the people.
Right.
On the other side.
Well, you come up to the con next to Barnaby, and you recognize Alan as one of them. He actually takes his wide brim hat off,
dang
and he
it.
goes walking up to the intercom because it looks like he's leading the pack on this one.
They found us.
All right.
It's like,
Well,
oh,
so-
Danny, oh, there's your shunt.
Yeah, right? See, doesn't it sound like a bad word?
Well, he comes up, he pushes the button, he's just sort of like, good evening to all residents of this very large warehouse. We are fully aware that you are equipped with all necessary, well, armaments, I suppose, in order to attempt and resist what we have coming. But I would highly recommend...
Private property.
He like stops for a second, he just shakes his head. I would highly recommend that you put your arms down and surrender. It will be much, much, much easier on everyone.
Hugh goes through the thing. It's like, hey, Alan, how's it going?
And it's
He's
like,
gonna use this smart brace to call Night City PD.
go for it. You can definitely do that. Do you have any kind of... What other sort of technical skills does Danny have by chance, if any?
Danny's good. Let me see.
Let me know here in a minute, because I'm going to continue with
yeah.
the dialogue here. So he's like, is that Mr. Man that I recognize?
Oh, Hugh, man, that's your service. Yeah, nice to talk to you again. I'm glad to be on another side of the wall, so you can't shoot at me.
Well, that won't be standing there for very long, sir. You do have a shortened timeline, as we all do. In this case, you just happen to be aware of how short.
So, it's just me here and Danny.
The god that makes a puppet out of Danny's motions. He's here as well.
Barnaby.
Yep.
He's not. So here's the thing: is that my character cannot lie. He's
Yeah.
thoughtlessly honest. So he's just describing the people that's in the room with him right now.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't think you need to be worried about us right now.
I mean, he's like, oh, we're very worried about you. As a matter of fact, you managed to do something rather recently, within the last several hours, I have to say, that got our attention quite vividly. You're on the brink, son. You're done. You're part of them now. Oh, wow. Holy crap! Thanks for the follow. Coming from like here, Naughty Nick Man. Yeah, that's awesome. Welcome. Woohoo! Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. There's 3 first-time people tonight.
So, Hugh is gonna keep trying to talk to him. It's
Yeah.
like, is there anything that we can do? I mean, you obviously have a lot of conviction, you know, and obviously you have some kind of honor because you wouldn't just talk to me otherwise. So, you know, what? I'm trying to put a olive leaf here, branch. He's gonna keep trying. He's gonna keep trying.
D, I tagged you in chat with my
Okay.
tech skills.
Oh my god. Let's see here. Nice. Okay.
Malcolm's continuing to drink from his flask. And he says, or you, and he's saying it just loud enough for Alan to hear. Says, or you could tell Mr. Allen to bugger off.
Yeah, he's being a shunt.
Hey, a massive one.
He's like, I can understand the desire to stay alive, or to at least prevent any sense of judgment, but it comes for us all, including myself. The only difference between you and me at this point is that I have grown to an acceptance of what is to come to me. He just turns around.
So, and Hugh's like, oh,
Yep.
he's okay. So he just doesn't let him talk anymore. Okay.
Well, in this case, well, thanks for the gifted sub there. Very nice. It looks like Jackerman Elite is going to be on here as a sub. No kidding.
Wow.
Now he has to come back.
All right. So, he
was actually going to try challenging his ideology. Like he was going to ask him.
Well,
Nice,
at this
nice.
point, you can see that there are several other robed men that are actually getting some certain things ready. You can see that they are pulling out weapons. They also have some other gear that they are beginning to fasten to the main wall and gate, to the entry point here.
Malcolm just kind of reaches up and touches one of the air conditioning vents and just feels the air coming through it. And says,
Nice. Another gifted sub
"What if-
there.
just a thought." And he's just like touching like the air conditioning vent. Is it possible where you could translate really, really quickly? And you just use the sounds. And he's just like, with moving air.
Oh.
Uh,
I'll be right back.
You actually see, like, so Brenner's in the midst of doing some things right now. You can actually see that there's a font of energy that is beginning to build up inside of that shunt. So he won't be able to respond terribly well, or at all, because he's going to be deeply in focus at this point.
Or Donnie, you could translate really, really quickly.
I'm calling the popo.
Well, at this
Fine.
point, you actually do reach out, but it seems like something is making it very difficult to make a call out.
Ah, dang it. They're jamming the signal. I'm gonna have to reverse the polarity. Check the gimbals.
Gotta do the
Across the streams.
Cross the streams.
Do you know what a gimbal is, right?
I do. Well, I've been reading all the Expanse, and like every time they're about to go on the burn, they're like gimbals in the couch shifted. So, oh yeah. Well, Nick, we've been playing this game for the better part of 2 years now. Okay, Malcolm. Wait, what are you saying? Throw the sands in the air, and you're gonna blow it at them?
I don't know. I mean, they're gonna come in here anyway.
But what if it lands on you? I don't want you to forget about me.
isn't necessarily a bad thing.
You guys have got a very short amount of time, so it's definitely an interesting proposition, not one that I would have considered, but you might be able to pull that off. It depends if you've got anything.
Where's the sand? It's not like in a...
You guys would have it in a sealed container. I do believe it was in a larger sort of bubble flask that you guys had access to.
Okay.
You could create a bubble where our air stays clean.
Roll in a
Their
cold, Bill.
air stays sandy. And then you do... And he just wiggles his fingers at you like that thing.
And Danny's gonna look at Brenner and see Brenner's very, very busy with way higher level magic than Danny's comfortable doing.
And he says, and he goes like this. He does this. He says, or you and Silva figure it out. And then he just draws his sword.
Can we
Bill.
open a gate under them and send them somewhere else?
Bill, roll in a cold.
A Colt.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just gonna be a D10.
Could we just send them to the other dimension?
Well, you'd have
Or
to
we
get
just-
them to stand still in a certain area and be sort of, compliant. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, he's just gonna run. He's just basically just going like, I'm feeling air. I'm thinking about that. 2. He's like, what do I know? I don't know anything.
You don't have a Colt?
He's never had a Colt. Remember,
That's crazy.
he was a vamp.
What's your
he was a
intelligence
vamp.
then?
Intelligence is 5.
So you got a 7 total. Yeah, you're not really piecing that one together, so never mind. All right,
he's
so
just kind of babbling at this point, going, I mean, I'm just feeling air. You need to distribute it. I mean, it's like a sneeze or a fart, and the sun goes.
in this case, you literally have the Sandman option, which is pour, use whatever sort of rite or ritual to do what you need to do, and go like that, and just makes contact with whatever.
I mean, I'm
Trying to
not
make a ritual
opposed
on
to
the fly.
trying, but I'm terrified that I'll screw it up.
Well, as you guys are negotiating that, there is several shouts coming from outside. Barnaby's just like, "Get away from the wall now! Go!" Like that. He starts like moving everybody more towards the center and starts hauling everything and flipping it onto its side.
Making some chest-high walls.
Because remember, in movie logic, the sofa can stop bullets.
Yeah, not in this case.
It
That's
does.
not necessarily what he's doing. He's trying to create obstructions between yourselves and everyone else. So I need just a straight up like a dodge. It's going to be technically counted as a dodge, so everybody needs to make a dodge roll.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay, dodge.
Remember the 5 Ds.
My dodge is very low.
Well, you've got the help of Barnaby throwing some shit in the way, so we'll see exactly how that goes.
Okay. My dodge is only a 4. I am not trained in dodging.
Thanks for the posture check.
Ooh, 8. Okay, I got an 8 dodge.
Okay.
19.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
So Malcolm's gonna like matrix dodge out of the way, and then Danny's just gonna like.
The application did not respond to my.
Well,
call.
try it again, Ken.
You can't roll in Skype. You have to roll in Discord. Oh dang! There you
Okay.
go.
I got a 14.
14. Danny's getting peppered.
Yep. Okay, that's good enough. Wow. It's furthest away at least. Okay. So Hugh, what's your armor?
It's something. Sorry, I was typing in something in chat. My armor is 20. Where head or body?
I need to know, is it different between the two?
My torso is 24, and my arms and legs are 20.
Okay. There's a couple of things that happen at this point. Barnaby's trying to push you down, Danny, and you're kind of moving around. You sort of half stumble. Hugh is moving to try and get out of the way. Malcolm is kind of like pressed. Thankfully, Silva's still kind of on the floor, and she just kind of like rolls to her side, obviously in clear amounts of pain. Whenever you are being pushed aside, this is a wide open space, which is kind of lucky for everybody because this would be very devastating if it wasn't. But it's wide open, 2 stories, 2.5 stories up to the ceiling. There is an absolutely pounding percussive impact. It's so loud and it's so incredibly violent that it causes you to like rock straight backwards. There's impacts that happen all around. There's sparks that go on almost at the same time that the explosion occurs. Danny, you're like knocked off to the side. Something kind of hits you here at the top part of your head. You can start to feel something hot and warm going down the side of your face, but you go rolling and tumbling, right? So you go rolling and tumbling backwards. You're still alive. It was just a glancing impact, but you still take it, right? So there's like 5 damage that happens right across the top part of your head there.
Damn, 5 damage is not just a glancing blow.
Right.
My beautiful face. Was it just debris?
No, it was just force of explosion as things were coming at you. So you basically you got grazed by a piece of shrapnel that went by that. Of course, Hugh, on the other hand, you get taken out the other way, getting pitched forward because something makes huge impact against both your legs, and then the rupture of the explosion sends you flying backward as you go tumbling into some of the debris that's back at the rear part of the auto shop. Surprisingly, Brenner takes the impact, completely blows over. Some of his clothing is actually ripped from the concussive force, but he manages to keep the spell intact somehow while he's doing that.
Are we taking like mortar fire or something? Like what's going on?
No, but the wall that they had been standing in front of has now been blown to absolute pieces. They used shape charges to blow the wall in.
Dude, what? Not cool.
How much damage did I take? Or you?
You ended up taking. Let's see here. It was definitely. It's one of those things where, like, when you start to roll around and come back to it, because your head's doing that ringing thing where you're tracing back and forth. You took a good. Yeah, you took about 4 points damage on the legs there.
Danny's ready to. He's very disoriented, but
yeah,
he's ready to Kamehameha wave at them. Like he's his dad paid for this place. It was their cool little safe base, and now these jerks are coming to wreck it.
Oh, your father's gonna be a little bit angry at you.
Right?
All right, so you guys are getting back up, but now Malcolm, on the other hand, you're the one who's actually walking through this. So you meet them first as they come in. Now they don't come in all the way. There is a bunch of choking smoke, dust, and all kinds of like aerosol bits that are in the air. So visibility is shot. You can't really see terribly much. However, you're standing there. You just duck back with your swords and kind of hold yourself up with the tars and the rest of it, and you kind of like look up from that. You're actually in one piece. At this point, I suspect you're probably going to go into an attack. Yes.
Ha! You got
Joke's on you guys.
Joke's on you.
Right.
So he can't see any of them right now.
You can kind of perceive that they're in the doorway. The problem is your head is rattled. Now, you don't suffer any penalty from pain or anything, but...
Can he do this with dancing spirits? Can he take the nano cord, make it go out like a line taunt about head height, and then move rapidly towards the reach point?
So it's constructed, it has to be of natural material, which technically speaking, that nano cord that you have is carbon fiber, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so you can try and attempt to reach out with that and do exactly that. You can make an attack.
20, basically, he wants to... Yeah, because they usually come in with melee weapons and everything else and stuff like that. Actually, he wants to do it like torso height because it's still foggy, and then just basically have it wrap around and strangle them like a python.
Alrighty.
So they have to make a body essence check of 9.
What you notice is when the cord comes within a certain distance of them, there is a white burst of fire that comes off the end of the cord. You feel a little heat on the inside of your person as you go through and do this. And, of course, whenever you actually see that, the cord, whenever it gets to a certain distance from them, goes limp towards the end and just kind of flops. It becomes inert.
They have pills for that, Malcolm.
Danny would have said that.
He says,
Danny would not have said that.
and it's just like, I have no idea what that actually means. and he engages because he doesn't have enough SFR to hit his
Okay.
warrior instinct, so he's only gonna do 2 attacks.
Right. So you go rushing up on them. Do me a quick favor. I need you to roll a... You have to make a combat sense. Do you have danger sense?
I do, and his also his aura of faith is activated too, because
Right.
he just does that.
Well,
Okay.
so yeah, just go ahead and make me a combat sense, and we'll add into that. You'll need it.
13. $17 combat sense.
Okay. You come up close, and you realize that you're about ready to come into the boundary of something that you know you will not be able to fend very easily against. There is something of a shield or a wall or something that stops them from becoming like the target from you. Like you go to close that distance and you feel that staticky barrier very much the same way that you might feel it or what you expect others to feel if they were to come against you in a similar fashion.
Now,
So
does that put him out of sword distance?
not exactly, no. You're kind of like just shy of that. But you also are going to have to make a bit of a jump, so I need you to either make a parry or a dodge, whichever one's higher, because you're moving fast enough to be able to counter.
Okay, so because he's got the 2 melee attacks, so he'll do a parry.
Yeah, it's going to flip because he had to stop mid-motion here.
Okay. Oh, he just has a plus 18 to his attack. Boo.
Oh, only.
23 for the parry,
Okay.
and then I might as well just roll his other attack. Or do I need to pause that?
Well, you're going to be spending that dodge, like, sucking up the rest of it, because they launch crossbow bolts. Nasty ones. Because you can hear it's like, chuk, 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 like that as they shoot out. There's three targets in this area. You do get a look at their number. But with that parry that you made, you actually managed to bat aside the bolts themselves before they can make contact. And you land yourself a little bit further backward. Like, it's basically you take that half back step so that you're not, like... They end up dropping the crossbow bolts in the middle of that firing, but the man's voice that comes out the bed just over the ringing in your ears, and he's just sort of like, not very nice. Gonna have to play this one hard. And of course, whenever they start to move, it's just sort of like, kill all of them. All right.
Okay.
So,
He still has 1 dancing spirit that he can utilize.
right?
So he takes his kilt, and can he use the kilt to grab one of the couches or chairs and throw it into the group?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
And he's just like, well, why don't you sit on this one? And then he hurls it at speed. So
Yeah.
he hurls it with his bod of 9.
Wow. Damn.
Because I don't think the chair's gonna.
Well, you get the extra leverage because your kilt unravels, right? And then it has all of that extra leverage just hurling the seat at your opponents. Like, yeah, just imagine that. It's the reason why the best home defense weapon has always been my favorite is the bowling ball and the bed sheet. Just whoosh, whoosh.
The D100.
The D100 you have, yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
going
you just load into the
that
end
goes
of your
into a
musket.
tube sock.
Yeah. The D100 in the tube sock. You just put that in the end of a musket, you're good.
Jesus, it's actually kind of the size of a
D100.
cannonball. If I'm being honest, it's very
You have
close.
it
It's only a
nearby?
little bit. Yeah,
Schrodinger would probably get a kick out of this.
it actually weighs like 1.5 pounds, almost 2 pounds. It's a little freaking ridiculous. This is probably half the size of an actual cannonball. Yeah,
Scrape shot.
and it's made
It's
out
a
of
lot
metal.
heavier than a box.
Oh yeah,
It's
I mean
so
it's
heavy.
yeah, it's
It's
weighty,
like made of like a meteorite or something. Like it's so heavy.
pure steel. Yeah.
I get like we can hear it, like clicking as you drop it.
Xbox clip that. Okay. So you whirl this chair. What's your melee strike with that?
Okay. Wait a second.
Well, what's your base melee? Like your whole melee score?
Yeah, that's what I'm having to look up because I switched out of my. There's base melee.
Yeah, like the whole score of the skill.
Base melee is 14.
14? Okay, so roll please. I was thinking that you were gonna like rule of 10 them out. Like I wasn't sure how high you were.
No, it's
Oh my god. More gift subs.
23.
Shady, dude.
He still gets a 23.
Yeah.
D, I tried to make Shady a VIP, but it says I don't have that power.
I guess I'll have to work
Yeah, I
on
think
it.
only D has the power.
Oh, I can fix that. I would definitely like to.
If you, in the
He's
chat,
been
if you just
slinging
type
it.
in /VIP,
He's been throwing it around.
/VIP, and then put Shady's name.
then Shady's
it
name.
should
Yeah.
make him VIP.
Oh Jesus!
Uh-oh. Shady Dynamo. Hey, sure you want to upgrade him?
Yeah,
Use
maybe
glasses,
not.
bud.
I'm gonna put him as sus.
Just put him as sus.
By the way, for all of our viewers, there's a new poll going on right now, seeing if the crew's
Oh,
going to
what
make it out of
is
this.
the crew gonna make it? Yeah, we're gonna make it.
Okay, so you hurl this chair at your targets and you whirl it hard. Okay, so it goes whoosh right across the way there with all that extra leverage, and you see one of these clerics is like he's like reaching for something. It basically looks like a large stave. He's drawing it from the side belt that it was just kind of hanging. He's doing this, and the chair hits him full side. You just hear him go like ah! Like that, and goes out of view. Right? The other two are kind of shaken aback because he just gets cleanly taken out. You don't know if he's like injured to the point where he can't get back up, but the bone cracking impact that you hear of that means that if he's straight up human, not really going to be getting back up from that if he's not wearing something to protect himself. There's at least a broken arm. You're pretty sure of that.
He makes his quip, hears the crack, and goes, ha!
Oh, what? Did we seriously see that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened. It's Shady.
And I
Right
saw-
after you made
I
him
saw.
VIP.
You gave Shady a VIP, so. And then he spent 7,500.
No glasses.
Oh, I need a timer. Hang on. This time I'm actually going to set it up before I fucking take the glasses
How
off.
long do we do the timer for?
It's 5.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Why? Alright, just let me know when. There's-
When you start rolling.
When I start rolling.
So he has to like.
Okay. I set 5.
All right.
Alright, go.
I will not be able to read anything in chat unless I am literally at kissing distance.
Ooh. So
We'll read it to you.
Yeah.
We'll whisper in your ears.
Oh, it's so
We
much
use our
better when
dulcet
you're playing
tones.
Archive.
Oh, yes.
Stop. No, your
So
mics
much
are too
better.
good for this. Stop. Ugh.
Welcome to Hot Tub Chat.
No.
Danny Blaze.
Do some
Oh my
ASMR.
god. Ken, do you remember that time when I accidentally didn't, when I had no freaking clue what the hell OnlyFans is? And you're
Oh,
like, you
no.
could probably do an OnlyFans. Like, sure, why not? You're like, well, okay, I guess. And I was like, oh, no, not that, no.
I mean, whatever brings in the subs.
Yeah.
Doms.
All right, moving on. This guy gets hit with a chair. Okay, so let's go ahead and have everybody do a combat sense now, because the shock of the explosion has been over for a little bit, and thankfully there's no activity at the back side of the warehouse yet. But these dudes are coming in, and they're going to be coming in hot. So let's see what we got going on here, because we have Danny, Barnaby, Silva's out, so is Brenner, and we have Hugh, all capable of making their own defensive actions at this point. Defensive in the sense that you're going to be using offense to keep your defense up. So I
All right,
want...
Danny's 15 for combat sense.
Okay. And Hugh?
Right, I didn't know.
17.
11.
11.
Numbers! Okay, so looks like Danny is going to be pulling back of the train here. And Hugh, you got 11?
Yeah.
11.
Actually, Hugh's going to be pulling back of the train. Okay,
All of them.
11.
11.
Elevator's racist.
All right, so you guys are trying to push this through. I think Bill, you got a 17, yeah? Okay, you're up first then. You have to basically come at him one more time. Quick, bastard.
So he's actually going to... Shit, it worked so well the first time. He's gonna retrieve his nice little nano cord and gonna use the nano cord. So it'll wrap around his other arm,
Yep.
like his charge arm, and he'll grab another chair and he'll use his kilt to actually throw the sofa.
Jesus.
Wow.
So we're gonna do 2 melee rolls.
So one chair with the nano cord, and you're gonna basically try to like, you basically kind of whip that couch at him, huh?
Whip
Yeah, that-
whip a chair with the nano cord, and the kilt's more robust.
Right.
He's gonna use that to
Well, and it's got a body of 9 technically, so you'll be able to like really whip the fucking couch across, so like it'll go
Just
across.
like Doc Ock grabbing furniture and throwing it across the room.
I mean,
That's
if
exactly
it works.
what I'm going with.
Oh, I love it. I love that visual. I'm like, yes.
Give me a second. I want to copy this formula so I can just do it again. 23,
23. Okay.
17. I'm gonna use some luck. I'm gonna use 1 luck to kind of boost that. So 17. So let me give me a roll. He's enjoying himself. So 17 plus 8, 25.
Okay. And that was the couch?
Yep.
Okay.
He
All right.
really wanted that couch to work.
Well, here's
Like,
what's
he
this is
kinda
what's
feels like a
interesting.
tug.
Yeah.
He does a tug and he goes, oh, no.
Yeah.
Now
so
you're making me want to play like a Spider-Man type character or something like.
you've got the 2 clerics that were up in front, and they're they were coming in. And as you see them approach,
Timer's
you're
up.
like, all right. And then the cord goes, chair, wraps itself around it, effortlessly whips the chair at your targets once again. They both kind of duck out of the way, and you can see them just kind of like doing that half grin. But then the couch is like, like that, and goes moving around. You hear it scrape across the fucking concrete. And they don't expect that at all. And the couch doesn't come off the ground or anything, but it goes sliding into the two of them, sending them sprawling on sideways.
Hey, Holland. Your man seems
Timer's
to
up,
be taking
D.
a nap.
You can put your
Put those glasses
back on.
back on, D.
Okay. That's really hard. I have to basically look at... I basically have to do this with the dice. I'm just like, that's a really nice pie. Like, I have to stare at
You
it
just
like
have to
that.
feel the number of pips on the top. You're like 17, I think. Oh,
All right.
Inky got one of those.
You're
similar
good,
to
man.
your
That's the
dice
reason why it's there. Hopefully it was
It
entertaining.
goes, it folds flat, so she could take it to school for D&D club on Fridays, and then just pops it up, like pops up for playtime, and then folds flat to slide in the binder.
Nice. Hooray, I'm not blind anymore. Yeah. All
I
right.
do have 7,500 IP of my own.
Oh, God. All right.
Wait until the music changes.
Right? Okay.
All right. So anyway,
So-
we see these guys get hit, and you're just sort of like, your men are taking a nap. You know, like you're basically throwing that out at him. At this point, I need a dodge from you, if you would, please.
Malcolm?
Malcolm, yeah. He's the one who's definitely making the most aggressive motions. He's kind of aggroed right now.
Is Danny like on the floor? Like he got hit, and, like laying down?
Well, you're kind of coming back up, and you're bleeding.
Okay.
Like you're just kind of like trying to make
Oh.
sense of what the hell happened.
We're using some luck.
Do you have any more luck?
I would recommend it. Yeah.
I've got 3 luck left, and I'm lucky.
Okay.
So he's gonna.
What was the original resilience of your armor build? Because the resilience rules have changed just slightly. So I did.
15.
Okay, so
And
give your
integrity 58.
so the integrity we'll leave alone. Put your resiliences all at 5. I know that sounds bad, but that's actually really good for what your armor is. But I need this for I need that to be reduced because, like I said, there's a bit of a switch.
Okay. So he's gonna use 2 points of luck, and we're gonna do a reroll.
Okay, re-rolling. Let's go.
Explode, you mean? Are we doing explode?
Yeah, he's exploding it.
Why am I so tiny?
Hey,
I don't know. Your stuff is glitching out. I think there's something
Whoa.
with
every
your.
time you touch yourself, you get one
Application
pixel
did
tinier.
not respond.
And then- It's like I have a little. I can just reach up and grab you, and then.
Oh, it exploded.
Oh, dang. That's good. So you're gonna dodge quite thoroughly.
We'll just have to leave you like that for now, Ken, until we can figure out what the hell's going on with your call.
Oh, I fixed it.
24, 30 dodge.
Apparently.
All right.
What'd you get for your total?
30.
All right. So in this case, you're making this dodge. It kind of does go for a whole, for the entirety of what you're doing. You're lucky that you have the danger sense that you do, because you hear warning bells going off. You hear crack, crack, crack as there are muzzle flashes through the remainder of the debris.
Oh.
And you're just like, oh shit, like that, and you move out of the way. When you hear the impacts against the walls and other debris in the back, you see micro explosions that are about the size of a football as they make impact. You do not want to be hit by these. And of course, whenever you hear the gunshots cease, he's just sort of like, that's alright, I can make up for both of them. Like that as he's moving in at a small saunter.
Oh, such
Like we took care of
a
the
man
minions
of God
about
who values
spot.
the life of his own men.
And it's like, they're soldiers, just like you, and they know the risks.
Hey. But I wouldn't treat them like trash or expendable.
All right, at this point, freaking, Yeah. All right. So, Hugh's actually going to be last. Danny, you're up. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, you're up. And Barnaby will be going with you at the same time.
Danny?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Danny is going to, steady himself on his feet, gauge what the situation is. And let me see. I think I'm just gonna go repel. He wants to just force push him back from whence they came.
Yep.
And if he can nudge that couch and take out some more people, then all the better.
Yep. Go for it.
He's just gonna directional blast. Okay, so you said everything starts with evocation. These are all naturally evocations and nothing's changing there.
Right. No, your experience with magic thus far has not changed. But when you get to the enchantment and stuff like that, it will.
Okay.
That'd be me. I'm the DM. Normally our name cards would be there, but they're not there. I'll have to fix that in the next stream.
Oh my gosh, my brain just totally turned off when the music stopped.
You're like, oh.
Okay. And so I have one success there, and I'm going to use my bracelet to add 2 successes to that.
Okay.
So I have one charge left on my bracelet, so I got 3 successes.
Okay.
With my kaboom.
All right. So you keep pushing. Yeah, you push that out there. What's your spell power again?
My spell power. 9. My spell attack is 13, but my spell power.
Yeah. What's your? So roll your spell attack. This will be nasty if.
Not mean to do that.
That would be gross,
16.
dude. 16?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I know how to do this. Yeah. He doesn't.
And
make
Shady,
it. Holy
we're
shit.
all relaxed because the music hasn't gone to the PTSD music yet.
All right, so Danny, you just kind of bring this up. There is a sense of like calm for a moment. When you bring this out, you see that same sort of vaporous action come across all of your skin and your outline and silhouette. There's just that sense of like sudden understanding and realization as to how the ether is formulating within you. You can almost see it internally with how you feel. You feel it condense into a knot, coming together as one tight, very firm structure. And then when you release it outward, it becomes what you actually see in your mind, as there's this force push, and it causes everything in front of you to just start launching forward. The tables, some of the chairs that were there, even the couch just goes whoosh, goes slamming through the main entryway that they had just blasted apart. There is somebody on the outside who's just kind of like that you hear on the outside being hit by it. Alan is taken off his feet completely. He goes flying backwards and crashes into a wall.
And you just hear a, "Atta boy, lad."
He's getting some hair on his coconuts and just like kaboom.
I've honestly never been more proud of you.
All right.
And he just, Alan, how you feeling, buddy?
Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Well, Barnaby apparently is on fire because he was like, whenever Alan's like, like that going, he hits that, like the fragment of the wall, crumples, and then comes back up. He's starting to stand up like this, and Barnaby's like, pop, 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 just takes 3 shots, very, very precise. And he's focused on Alan at that time. The only thing that sucks is that you actually see the curvature going off as the rounds go flying past his head when they look like they should go right into his skull. Something flares.
He's got some shield of some kind up.
Yep. But everybody
Okay.
can make an awareness check real fast because there's a signifier here.
Okay. I'm gonna think my bonus 5 adds to that for magic-y stuff, but
Yeah,
I'll
it'll.
roll my base.
Say awareness.
Yep.
So 16 base, and then plus 5 if it's magic-y.
You actually happen to see it for sure, and
16.
yep, you got 16. Good. All right. You see something flare on the inside of his shirt in what looks to be the emblem of a cross. You can see it just vaguely underneath all of his stuff. It must be going pretty bright because those robes are definitely not standard. They have to be armored in some way. So the fact that you're actually seeing the glow of the cross coming through the front part of his shirt is definitely odd. But you can see the gold-white light as the bullets hit something and then divert. They don't stop. They just whiz past his head, going in and around wherever he was, like around his head, going out like that. So it doesn't stop the kinetic force, it just redirects it in the easiest way possible. But you catch little golden tracers as the rounds go flitting off into the distance.
Nice. Danny will remember that later. I need dispel. How do I dispel?
Mage hand. Mage
Right?
hand.
Snatch. Just
Did you
yoink.
say that,
Oh, I do have
did you
snatch.
say that we all saw that, or is it just what was the?
I'm gonna
what was the
describe.
baseline?
Danny will describe. Danny is like a streamer. He cannot do anything without narrating it at the same time. So he's like, "Oh, there's stuff flying off his head." Like,
Oh my god, please don't scream like a streamer.
A streamer of the future.
This is amazing! I can't believe this!
this thing that was like, "Don't put yourself in vulnerable situations for being screen capped and all that." And it was like, never drink a water bottle or something like that. Yeah.
Well, okay. So at this point, there's nobody else coming through the main doorway here, and as you guys are pushing through, looks like another posture check here from Schrodinger. Thank you very much. He's like Alan is standing up, obviously stiff from that impact. He's not doing terribly hot because whatever you hit, however hard he got hit, looks like it took the air out of him. But he is standing
Good.
up, and it's just sort of like, all right. Cracks his neck, like, apparently you're a little tougher than you look. Like that, and just
His health bar changes to red and the music changes to Latin.
I wish I could have snuck up next to him and just like dodge this to the shot.
oh my
field.
god.
right?
Well,
Enter.
God, if you ever had that disruption bat that you've been carrying around, you've made some pretty god awful.
Oh, I still have that bat. Yeah.
So okay.
Danny, he could swing it, swing it, and then Danny could throw it at Alan and then let it hit him.
Yeah, or just give it a nudge. The
Yeah,
way
he's-
Ivar used to like.
This is all
Modify
happening
my
rather
attack.
rapidly, so like I said, that whole comment that he
Yeah.
made is under breath while he's standing up, and of course Hugh is already making his move, whatever it might be. So you're up.
Yeah, I mean, he typically doesn't go for the kill, but at this point Alan has proven that this is not someone he can turn.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes for his shotgun.
Yep. Pulling out the
Getting him into
firearm.
a different microphone, and like I keep trying to not touch this part of my face because there's normally a thing there.
Yeah. Hydrate.
Hydrate.
Does coffee count as hydration?
You know, D,
Coffee
one of the
counts
things
for
we should do for
hydration.
your stream
What's that?
is we should add more rewards. D.
I know.
One of
I don't know
should
which
be
ones to
hydrate.
give yet, but I want to get a soundboard put in there for sure because I think that'd be great.
Oh my gosh, we used to torture Grayley with that.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that alien game?
Yeah, it was called Alien Isolation.
Yeah, Alien Isolation.
Oh my gosh, we.
Yeah, it started the
Schrodinger
piss
and I
out of her.
would
Boop, boop, boop,
torture
boop,
her
boop,
with
boop,
that.
All right, so you're whipping out the shotgun. Let's see what you got.
This is this morning's coffee.
Roll off of his. Gross.
It's not that it's well seasoned coffee.
Oh wow! God damn.
Like the well seasoned coffee that D had one time.
Oh.
It's like French press coffee, so it has dregs. It's like Turkish coffee.
So did D's coffee.
Stop. I don't like remembering this.
I know.
It was
Mix dragon milk into it.
no, God, Jesus, it's worse now. Just, I can smell it. All right, what do we got going on here, Hugh? What is your thing?
We're stretching.
Type faster.
Oh, it didn't work. I did it
Did
the old
not
style.
work.
What'd you miss?
Oh, I'm
I did it
simply
the old
drinking
style.
again. Oh my God, no.
Oh, you. There it goes.
Oh, well. I guess I'll use, just so it doesn't botch, I'll use my last luck to make it so it's a 2.
A 2. Okay. So total then is 10.
Total is 10.
10. Okay.
It's gonna go
All right.
wide.
So you're like that. You take a shot and you go boom, and similar to the same thing that happens, you guys go half deaf because the shotguns are loud. When you crack this weapon, the muzzle flash goes. You see these sparks coming off, and again that flare from the inside of his chest. He kind of takes it back. He's just sort of like, it's that look of like, absolutely, this is gonna get like he wants to take revenge quickly. But Malcolm, you're up.
So you said that within that bubble, he still can hit somebody with a sword, right?
If you put yourself up close enough, yeah, you might be able to get it in there. Yeah.
He is. He is going to activate. He's actually going to activate his warrior instinct.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is a mechanics question, but which I think that we can actually maybe potentially apply to the combat scenario.
Yeah.
Can I focus all 3 of my melee strikes into one shot?
How do you mean?
Like a called shot.
But it's always a called shot, right? That's. So in other words, you're just trying to get like in other words, you're trying to pull a stunt.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull a stunt, but the concept that I'm trying to tease in my head is because he has 3 melee attacks. Is he doing 3 rapid succession thrusts?
That depends on how you describe it. If you're trying to like amp what you're doing, like trying to do a really hardcore impale, I can work with you on that.
Hardcore impale.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, essentially he wants to target the cross.
All right, you're trying to go after the cross and destroy it. That's what you're trying to go for. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in this case, that is a called shot, which means you have to hit pretty high. If you don't roll a natural 4 on the roll, you're gonna miss. But
Okay.
let's just see what you get, because we'll go from there, because it's gonna be a bit of a battle here.
Because he's got the 3. Well, he's got the 3 strikes, so he can do 1, pull back his hand,
Yep.
2, 3.
Yeah, you can just do 3 rapid strokes. Absolutely.
So we'll do 3 rapid strokes with a called shot.
Okay.
All right. Because of warrior instinct, he has 3 attacks. It now bumps his bonus 15 to 21.
All right.
Bump my bonus and call me Malcolm.
Let me copy that because we're going to do that 3 times. Now,
2 hours in, the battle's going strong. Yeah. Ooh. 28 again.
How?
Oh wow.
3 28s.
Wait. He
7.
hit a
7.
777. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
jackpot.
a jackpot.
Jackpot.
The fuck just happened?
weird.
That is the weirdest. Okay, yeah.
777. Jackpot.
But can you make it so that the eyes like cartoon?
All right. So you. Funny. I mean,
that can we screenshot that? Because that is hilarious to me.
yeah. I've got it for later. All right. So, yeah, you press forward. Alan is standing up. He just got blasted with all this shot that went out and around him. You know, and you see the flare. You immediately strike towards this. Now, here's the problem. You recognize the symbol and everything that goes along with it because you are a man of God and you understand that. And what's funny is that there is still that inner conflict that you're going to be destroying an artifact that actually is used in worship to that particular element. You manage to power through this because the enemy that's wearing it is the problem. So you try to disrupt it.
He himself is sacrilegious.
He's not aiming at the cross.
He's aiming at what?
He's aiming at the man behind it. The cross, unfortunately, is in the way.
It's in a way, yeah.
That how he's negotiating it?
Gymnastics.
That is exactly how he is going with it in his brain. It's like, I'm sorry, God, I was just trying to hit the man.
Okay, so you go strike, strike, strike as you come in really close. He actually gets kind of shocked. Things kind of slow down for a second as you come in and you pummel all three of those. And what's funny is that you cause all kinds of like penetrative effect because the tip of the blade goes through, but you also end up taking, when you make contact, there is that sense. I need to just go ahead and roll a body essence check because you'll end up taking about there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's going to be I'm sorry. Yeah, there's going to be about 3 points. Yes, 3 points
So
of.
I have a body of 9, so
Yeah.
9d10.
Yeah, this is the first time you're going to actually feel pain
Oh, okay.
in a long while.
So 9d10. What's the target?
It's going to be it's going to be an 8. Yep.
8. Okay. Fail is 1, and explode is 10. I get 3 degrees of success.
Okay. So you can ignore the pain at least for now.
Oh no, wait, because I got 2.
Yeah, you got 2 fails.
I got 2 fails, so 1 degree success.
Yeah. Okay. So in this case, you're going to be dealing with a -2 penalty on your strikes for a little while, but you take 3 points of withering damage when you make these attacks and make contact. So you make impact the first time, there's a flash of light, you feel the sudden racking pain in your arm, but you continue with the next 2 thrusts, taking that pain on the chin, and you realize that this man must be shrouded in some kind of really extraordinary faith, and that is the only reason why you are struggling so hard. But when you make that third impact, there's a bit of a crunch, and you can hear him just go like, ah! Like that as you end up making that impact. So now you will have to make your dodge as you have Alan's full attention. You also managed to deal like a good 9 points of damage to the man.
Wow, you actually did damage.
Yeah.
$17.
17? Okay, I gotta see what he gets. Should probably actually roll, huh? Alright. Okay, armor, Bill?
Armor is 24, resilience 5, integrity 58.
Okay.
Integrity.
What's the protection again?
24.
24? Okay. Right, so in this case, you take 6 points of damage on the outside of that, but I need you to make an integrity check, please.
Okay, so I'm at 9 points of damage total,
Mm-hmm.
and integrity is 1d100.
Yeah.
I have to be below my percentage.
Yeah. You have to meet it or roll under.
I'm under 23.
Okay. So you have one, like, so you take a hit. Your resilience is now basically your armor's HP. So you take a single point of resilience at this point, so you can color in one of the pips. Your armor is damaged in the front, but you get knocked backwards as these explosive rounds go colliding into your chest. Everybody can see these things just pop right off as he takes the impact, and he goes stumbling backwards. Doesn't fall to his feet, but there's enough of a burst impact that it sends his arm kind of wide and sends him sort of bucking and stepping backward almost 6-7 feet.
All right, so that was my called shot, and as he's going back, is there anything in grabbing distance of his dancing spirits?
Well, in this particular case, you've used all 3 attacks to hit the cross, which is
right, because the dancing spirits, I utilize my melee.
Mm-hmm.
I keep on forgetting that. Never mind.
Yep. So I mean, you went crack, crack, crack. It's no longer. It's you think you may have gotten it, and you definitely made him hurt. But I mean, then you took the 3 shots because that was his turn. Danny, Barnaby, you're up next.
So going from the earlier suggestion that Malcolm made, Danny's gonna see what he can do as far as snatch.
Okay.
Since those are his 2 main things, is the push and pull.
Yep. So far, and they've been effective.
They have been effective.
Hockey his jersey over his face.
Well, I mean, he can't. He does. They don't do damage, right? Repel is like a disorienting sort of thing. And Danny, after that first time he like nuked the guy in the park, is resistant to
using his fire
outright damaging people. But yeah, I mean, he's gonna see what he can grab on Alan, or if he can grab, someone next to Alan and fling him into Alan or something.
Mm-hmm.
To try and keep him with the goal of being to distract him so that Hugh or someone else can get in a good shot.
Right. So you're basically trying to use a mystical form of telekinesis. You're just trying to whip people around. Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily want to yank something towards myself.
No.
So. Oh, I gotta wait till the roll triggers. There we go. 3D.
Damn. Cool monsters.
Right.
The black monsters that you fought last session.
Okay, so 2 successes on Snatch.
Okay.
You guys are putting it all on the OOC channel.
Oh, dang it. Sorry.
It's all good.
It doesn't show on the stream anyway, so.
It doesn't show on the stream anymore, so we can probably kill that channel.
That's so funny. I actually kind of like the OCC channel, actually, still.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
That makes sense.
2 successes on Snatch.
Right.
So, yeah.
You're taking one of the guys that might be trying to crawl into the room here. You basically do this motion off to the side, and you can see the guy just got to get jerked into motion. He starts kind of like stumbling forward. You don't quite get the effect you were hoping for, but it does send him off. He can't like strike anybody else, at least for the immediate moment. Barnaby is up next with his series of shots. And he just takes aim once more. He's sort of like, "You duck," like that, because apparently with the way that Alan's been kind of moved around, you just hear 3 more cracked shots go off. That's right. He's not actually. He's going to be aiming up the torso. 1, 2. Ooh. All right. There is a shot to the chest. One that's right here. So he climbs up the body with his shots. You just see puff, puff, blap. As he's just like this. He was taking shots at Malcolm. There is this tiny red dot that appears, a nasty spray out the back, and Alan just kind of like falls off to the side, completely slumped, because it looks like whatever protective power was protecting him from before didn't stop it this time.
He looks at Malcolm looks at Barnum and goes, "I don't think he's gonna be remembering the lad now."
Danny's gonna vomit. as he sees the.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Right.
just drops out of sight
For
at this
sure.
point. You hear this, like,
And
clapping
I need to
motion.
do a will check.
Yep, you do.
Blood.
Indeed. Go for it. Hugh,
Yeah.
you
So
notice that
that's
there are
one.
other targets and people in here. Yeah.
Already.
Okay, so he's got a will 4d10. Target.
That's pretty difficult, about an 8.
Will 1.
Just snatch
10.
some brain. Nobody will know.
He's got
Just
he's got iron will, so he gets 1 automatic success.
So
So
if he
he's got
paralyzed
3
him, he'd be a
success.
vegetable.
He's indifferent to Alan. His brain's blown out.
Yeah. Well, and in this case, yeah, Hugh, you're up. Like I said, this is not it yet, and you can, like I said, you hear a clapping motion from behind you at this point, and while that's happening, there seems to be this kind of like sound of bending metal. Whenever if you can actually hear what's happening back there, you can see the top part of your shunt that had been created almost like an indoor gazebo, the sort with its structuring. You can see the top parts pulling inward, pulling downward, and gets completely jerked into the concrete, folds itself over, and then there's a massive crack. So hard that you actually feel it rumble underneath everybody.
Oh wow.
So, and he just holds his hands like that for a second. He just like lets it drop, and you can see that the entirety of it all. Bill's like that goes back to normal. But he holds that crack in place, and he just kind of like looks over at the rest of whatever is happening. Hugh, you got your shot here at this point.
How many targets do I have?
Maybe 2 or 3. Can't really tell. The debris is still kind of in the air, but it's getting clearer.
There's a pink mist floating in the air.
Well, that's where Alan was standing. He's kind of to the left of all that, from your perspective.
I think I'm going to take my round. I'll try shooting off a shot towards one of them, and then
Okay.
getting towards the wall. I want to get out of, like...
You want to get out of
the
firing
area.
range. Yeah, that'd be
Not
smart.
standing in the middle.
Yes, correct. That would be
Yeah.
a smart plan.
It's suppressing fire!
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why?
Uh, 12 on my shotgun shot.
Nice.
And I'm going to have to reload anyway next turn.
All right, so yeah, you're like huge muscle flash. Once again, everybody's ears ringing. You actually see somebody just go straight down. They were standing up and they just go thunk like that. They go down like a domino. You can't really see exactly what's
What
happening.
was your range on this shotgun? -5 or 5,000 points?
Right.
Well, and in this case, you don't know what it was, but the other ones on the outside just going like, when it's like, stay down, firing, stay down, like that, just trying to, it sounds like they know kind of what they're up to. When you fire that shot, you move out of the way, there's a massive disruption from behind the warehouse, as there's another series of explosions. If you recall, Barnaby had actually said that there were multiple individuals surrounding the area. So Alan was only coming in the front door while the other ones were going to be dropping in shortly thereafter. It'll probably take us a little bit, but it is
Yeah, we need
22
to
after
stop
the
at this
hour.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can
So
kind
we'll
of
have to
like
pause.
hold it there for a moment. But
That's
yeah,
good.
I mean, you
Good stuff.
rock that shotgun and you're crouched underneath. You're going to be towards the kitchen area, okay, Hugh? So the kitchen area is to your right, and you're pushed up against the sink and holding it, basically going at a crouch and trying to make yourself as small as possible. Barnaby and Danny are going to be trying to pull over towards that direction also. There's a lot of debris towards the back with lots of disassembled cars and so on. So you guys have got a lot of, like impedance between you and whatever's coming in that way. And Malcolm, you're kind of like off to the left as far as the rest of the team goes, standing in a position where you can actually make movement against these guys that are actually at the front. Depending on how many are out there or what their capabilities are, you might be able to squeeze out the front if the back has a heavier regiment. Okay? But, you don't know quite the status of Brenner and Silva right now. Silva hasn't moved, and Brenner is definitely what looks to be minorly exhausted.
So he's been occupied.
Yeah. He managed to keep the
Oh.
spell together even though the whole front door blew in. Like, I can't even believe that.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll pick up next week
That
for
is
the
the plan.
second half of the battle.
I also stream more often than that. I'm gonna try and stream a lot, multiple weeks, but there is a good chance that I'll be doing sort of a hither and thither, week on, week off type thing, depending on how I am doing. But I want to keep streaming as much as possible.
Some pretty good input there, Shady, as well.
Mm-hmm. I didn't quite see it. What did he say?
He enjoys the layout, wishes that they could have rolls in real time.
Right. Well, we took that away because
Sorry about
apparently
that.
rolls were not really all that important, so we'll have to put it back in, I guess.
Well, we have
That
that
make it so
spot
that they
under.
fade away.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we have the spot under Bill too.
Yeah, we can do that.
That,
That-
until
Drew shows back up.
rejoins us.
Yeah.
Well, I think we could have it like maybe I'll do some research this next week to see if we can like find something that makes the dice show up on the stream, kind of like in Roll20 or whatever,
Mhm.
where the dice
Yeah.
like just fall on top of the thing.
Right.
Like, if
Well,
we can
I
find an overlay-
believe all of that was like Roll20, like Roll20.net. It does that exact thing, but I think you have to pay for it in order for it to rearrange your avatars. I still don't know for sure.
Well, I'll look into seeing if there's an OBS like overlay.
Yeah. If we could do something like
Get
that,
him
that'd
to
be great.
just show up under our pictures. That would be the best.
Yeah.
Impossible.
We might be able to do it. I'll do some research, but
Yeah.
we also need to fix the audio
are
delay,
awesome.
which will be another video
Yeah.
for you.
And a cue for all of you to look up and fright.
Yep. I guess this is to the right.
Yeah, well, right now there's a huge delay because I had to reboot OBS a couple of times and there were some other issues. I have to do a couple of fixes to make sure the NDI is doing what it's supposed to.
Yeah. Well, it's 1% at a time.
Yep, 1% per stream. That's what we're doing, man. We want to rock this out. So, those of you who are new or are still hanging out, like I said, I try to stream as often as possible. Generally, I do video games also, but this is something that happens every Thursday. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks everyone
Stop
for
it in,
coming.
everybody.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, and I'm just going to briefly cover this list here real fast. Let's see. We've got, wow, a lot of activity, all things considered. And,
A ton of activity.
yeah, because, well, we've got new followers here. We've got the, Naughty Nick Man. We have Ricker back in. We also have Jackman Leet.
Jackerman.
Yep, Jackerman Leet. So 3 followers, and we got a whole bunch of subs for everybody involved. Thanks to Shady Dynamo doing lots of work.
Who is
So-
now a VIP.
Yeah.
Now our only VIP.
Yeah,
so-
well, I mean, he frapping earned it, man. He was just
Deserved it.
dropping
He paid
it.
his way in.
Yeah, literally.
Meanwhile, Monkey's like, hey, what the hell?
Only one.
Yeah, you're the only one.
Yeah. Not really aware of how to, but we'll be using that a lot more since I've got that feature under tow. But again, thanks everybody for watching, and I deeply appreciate you being here. And everybody have a good night. Okay. Latest.